But why should you use Gemini to rephrase content or text? Well, if you use Gemini to rephrase content, it can be useful to transform rough notes, overly technical details into something that's more clear and more engaging for your audience. It can help you also adjust the tone to be more formal, more friendly, and it can also help trim the fat, so make it more concise and keep the original meaning with that. This makes it very useful for polishing emails and content, and AI tools such as Copilot and Gemini can also help add value by making it clearer, making it more readable, adjusting the tone to what you wish, making it more consistent, efficient, so that you don't have to waste time, for example, trying to think of how to rephrase it or how to rewrite something. Gemini can provide you that pretty instantly. So, how can we get Gemini to rephrase content? So, the way we're going to do it here is similar to how I did it in a Copilot video, by giving it the goal, the context, the source, and the expectation of what we want to do when it rephrases that content. So telling it, the audience, that we need this for, providing our original text, and we'll have a look at an example of a prompt you can reuse within Gemini to rephrase content if Gemini is your tool of choice. So here on screen we have a prompt that is similar to the prompt, if not identical to the prompt I used for Copilot. And Gemini uses the same logic too. So here it says, please rephrase the following text while keeping the original meaning. Use clear, natural language and improve flow, readability, and tone. Do not add new information. Here is the text, and then you'll paste in the text that you want Gemini to rephrase. Now, looking at it like this is a prompt you can reuse, but let's have a look at an example. Now, with this example on screen, we can see it is very confusing, doesn't look like English in parts, and it definitely looks very difficult to understand. Looks almost like doctor's notes, for example. So we can make out some words in English, such as biopsy arranged core, tumor markers, prognosis unclear. So we could maybe get an understanding of what this body of text could be about, for example. But let's have a look at trying to run this in Gemini to see if it can make this more readable and filled with less jargony words. As you can see, this example also is written slightly different. So we've said to use less jargon, natural language, and improve flow, readability, and tone. So we've changed the use clear for less jargon, seeing as there's so many jargon type words in here. It's really confusing, and if you're not a doctor, you probably don't understand this. God knows I don't understand this piece of text. So let's stick it into Gemini. Hey there, quick interruption before we see the example in practice. If you're enjoying this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Have you used Gemini or other AI tools to rephrase content? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more content like this in the future. Alright, let's get back to it and see that example in practice in Gemini. Now, here we have Gemini open. And what we're going to do is we're going to click in the Ask Gemini 3 box, and I'm going to paste the prompt. Now I'm going to use the expanding arrows so we can see the full length of the prompt. Please rephrase the following text, which is what we have, and this gobbledygooky doctorish type text. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hit enter, and Gemini is now going to go away and also pull together information from what it knows and rephrase the content. So here we go. The patient is being evaluated for suspected cancer that has likely spread. Chest x-ray showed significant shadowing and waiting on CT scans of the abdomen and pelvis before discussing the case at tomorrow's multidisciplinary team meeting. It's brought back the initial test results, the next step treatment, and the current outlook. And also what it does is it also allows you to have a summary, for example. So I'm just going to type yes, for example, and see if it can provide a different sort of summary that is more simplified if you find that it initially doesn't simplify it to your liking. Now, this is a bit more of an extreme example, but we're going to have a look at a different example to show how it works in that context. So I'm just going to click on new chat over here, and we're going to paste in the next example. We're going to bring that TFL sort of prompt that we used last time into Gemini that we used for Copilot. So I'm just going to paste that in, and it's going to ask for the same of reduce exaggeration and casual phrasing, do not add new information, here is the text. And we're going to see how Gemini fares. Now I've hit submit and it's taking what I have written and it started trying to explain it out. Transport for London manages one of the world's most extensive and complex urban transit networks, facilitating millions of daily journeys across the capital. By integrating the underground, bus networks, trams, the overground and river services, TfL maintains a cohesive multimodal infrastructure essential to the city's functionality. Then it also provides a little bullet point sort of section to kind of break down a part of the text that we gave it. And it also says, through a combination of precise logistics and commitment to public service, TfL ensures the continuous movement of London's population and remains a cornerstone of the city's economic and social infrastructure. So it's literally taken what we have provided it and it's sort of simplified it and broken it out into more better sizable chunks of text. Granted, a little bit longer than the original, but definitely in a different way that you may not have seen Gemini perform before.